I think the status quo is intolerable, whether it's in Chicago or New York or L.A. or Milwaukee. If you've got half the kids dropping out and you only have 1 out of every 10 kids reading at grade level or going on to college, the system does not work. I don't think that only money solves the problem. I do think money helps. I think it's important for us to have early childhood education. I think we have to pay our teachers more. We have to do a much better job of training teachers. I think colleges of education have to be accredited. I think that how we match up master teachers to apprentice teachers when they're first starting off, creating a critical mass that has a culture of excellence inside schools, making sure our assessments are not built just around a single standardized test, but nevertheless are high and have buy-in from the teachers, having principals who are excellent leaders. There are a whole host of things that I think we can do and which will cost money. I think that we should foster competition within the public school system with charters, and anything that works we should try to scale up and replicate. And I think that we have to have a cultural change in education in inner city communities and low-income communities across the country, not just inner city but also rural, where parents and community and leaders who have a soapbox are emphasizing educational excellence. That's something that we don't do enough of. There's this sense that education is somehow a passive activity, and you tip your head over and you pour education in somebody's ear. And that's not how it works. And we've got to, so we're going to have to work with parents. That's why I like programs, and these, one of the things I've championed is having nurses or social workers or teachers visiting at-risk parents the moment that child is born and trying to see if we can help them from 0 to 3, developing just habits of reading to your child. If the parent doesn't read, helping the parent to learn to read so that they can read to their child, engaging them, talking to them, putting them in stimulating environments. Now, none of these things are panaceas. They're not going to solve every problem, but I think they can improve our outcomes.
There is a longitudinal study underway on choice schools. If it is judged credible and the results are favorable to choice schools, you would be less of a skeptic?
Well, that's a loaded question. So what I don't want to do is to start saying, well, if the study shows that it works, I'm all for it, because I want to find out, is this a legitimate study in the sense that, in particular, the parents who took the affirmative step to take their kids out of an existing school and put them into a school of their choice, are those parents who tend to be more attentive or more aggressive parents, and that would somehow, now I'm assuming any credible study would have to factor some of that stuff out. Here's what I'll say. I will not allow sort of my predispositions to stand in the way of making sure that our kids can learn. We're losing several generations of kids, and something has to be done.